Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys our BBR Season 3 Week 3 battle against 3D Arcade and his Arkansas Pig Knights, which is a super clean logo, by the way. I actually love the way that logo looks. From the limited interaction I've had with him, 3D Arcade seems like a very, very cool dude. I'll leave his link in the description below. Obviously, with all the other coaches, definitely go check him out. I think his quality of video is, like, phenomenal. Obviously, we have our team builder slides and stuff like that. I think his look even better. I think his team builder slides are absolutely sick. You could tell he takes great pride in his content, so definitely go check him out. Very, very, very solid stuff. And before we jump into this, I do want to mention that only a good 40-50% of you guys that are watching the vids each and every week are actually subs. So if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the sub button. It's completely free, really easy. You can always change your mind later. We have plenty of content going up, whether that be draft league stuff like this, going all through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I guess that's not really the weekend. Wi-Fi battles, showdown lives, bunch of stuff. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, this is your spot. But with that being said, I do want to do a quick team builder. We always do before our draft league games. I'll leave a something on the screen either before this or right now, saying when the battle starts and all that stuff. But we're gonna go over our team, what we have, why we were bringing it, and all that good stuff, just so you can have that background knowledge going into the match. You can see my thought process going into it and stuff like that. And yeah, I always think it's really fun to be able to share that. That's what I enjoy about draft, just honestly building the most. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump and look at the matchup. Our team, if you did forget, consists of Celesteela, Latias, Cinderace, Crocodile, Lantern, Lickilicky, Crustle, Drifblim, Garbodor, Shiinotic, and Throw. While our opponent's team is chilling at the bottom, it consists of Landorus, Therian, Primarina, Goodra, Klefki, Rotom-Mow, Virizion, Skuntank, Xatu, Dusclops, Heatmore, and Vespiquen. Now, I won't lie to you guys. I very much so like this matchup. This matchup is very, very much so in our favor. I think our opponent has a very tough time breaking through our fat, even with us bringing some interesting stuff like that Celesteela you see on your screen right now. Because honestly, Fat Sally goes in this game too. Minus something like a Rotom, which is something that kind of deterred me from it. I can't as freely throw off Leech Seeds because it's one of the few grasses I can switch in on leeches from Sally and not really care. But other than that, like, there's not much my opponent can do to break through, and our offense is actually very, very good this game. Biggest threats, though, like a Gravity or a Smackdown Landers can actually be a big, big issue, because two of our better checks being Selly, which isn't really our check this week, but something like a Latias that can, be immune to EQ, or Crocodile or something like that. A lot of them don't really appreciate, like, SD Gravity sets can really break through my fat super, super well. So I'm very scared of that. Specs Prim, probably the biggest threat to my team, though. Our prep is very much so built around kind of stopping that thing from snowballing and just picking up KOs every time it comes in on something slow and passive. So that's going to be very scary. AV Goodra is a bit of a nuisance to our win con, which is on your screen right now. Rotom can actually be very annoying as well. Like a Nasty Plot set can, break through our fat decently enough. Minus something like a Latias, which, we can deal with. Then Virizion's a little bit annoying just because of the fact that it's one of the only Pokemon on my opponent's team that breaks through Lickilicky, but we will get to that here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and jump right into our first mod. It's going to be Celesteela, rocking out with the Power Herb, Beast Boost as its ability, Air Slash, Flamethrower, Autotomize, and Meteor Beam. EVs wise, we got 116 HP, 164 special attack, and 228 speed with a modest nature. EVs wise, our speed investment is enough to where at +2 we will outspeed Scarfers, creeping a max speed Drifblim, so base 80 Pokemon, which I could see him creeping max of if he is, even an aggressive creeper, because of something like Goodra also hitting that speed tier. So we viably could potentially run a max speed Drifblim in this matchup, and I don't see something like Rotom or Landers really needing any more speed than outspeeding, something like a max Drifblim. So that's kind of the benchmark we ended up hitting. We are not 2-hit KO'd by Virizion CC if it's not a boosting item. We live a timid Thunderbolt after rocks from the Rotom, so even if we don't have our Autotomize up and we're not faster, or if he's just max speed for some reason, we will live that hit, and then we threw the rest into special attack. Now, Meteor Beam is, those of you who don't know what Meteor Beam does, it is a rock type move. It's 120 base power, 90 accuracy, and it's a 2-turn move, which is why we have our Power Beam. But on the first turn, it would raise the user's special attack by 1, and then it hits on turn 2. So this is a great way of snowballing and really ripping through my opponent's team. I honestly didn't really see a need for coverage outside of Air Slash and Flamethrower. It really just rips through my opponent's team, like, really, really well. So if we can get chip on something like a Primarina or a Goodra, we find an opportunity to throw off a Meteor Beam, we can honestly just snowball and rip through my opponent's team. At +2, there's not much that can really take this on, provided we do get chip on something like an AV Goodra, something like a Primarina. We honestly kind of just win with Selly. once it gets up to +2 special attack. So that's going to be the end game goal here if we do, you know, obviously find the opportunity to do so. Next up, we have Latias rocking out with the Life Orb, Levitate as its ability, Psyshock, Mystical Fire, Roost, and Draco Meteor. EVs wise, we got 156 HP, 116 special attack, and 236 speed with a modest nature. Now, EVs wise, we have enough speed for a Virizion, creeping a max speed Crocodile. We live 2 timid Dark Pulses from Rotom Mo after Rock, so if it is Scarf like Dark Pulse to try and catch us off guard, we will live 2 of those, and then we threw the rest in the special attack. This Pokemon is a phenomenal breaker this game. Now, in previous weeks, I think I've brought Bonberry, Calm Mind in both weeks. This week, I think that just Life Orb 3 attacks is really, really difficult for my opponent to switch in. Our dual stabs are amazing in this game, especially Psyshock is super, super, super free in this matchup. Skuntank does not want to take a Life Orb Draco Meteor, and even if it comes in, we just switch out. There's no more pursuit at this point, so we don't really have to worry about that thing. Mystical Fire is going to chunk things like Klefki. It's going to make us take on things like, like Rotom a little bit better as well, in case they are like, you know, an offensive Dark Pulse set, or they are nasty plugged up. We have to come in, and we know we don't OHKO them from that range, so we can Mystical Fire twice instead, so we live the hit. A bunch of things like that is honestly really, really nice. And again, just Draco plus Psyshock is super, super free in this matchup. So if we can find a way to position this thing, getting in as much as possible, we can put a lot of pressure on our opponent's team. And really, really rip through the squad, which is awesome. And it also gives us another Landorus EQ immunity, so we don't have to risk our Silly as much, because I don't want to get my Silly knocked off and lose my Power Herb. Because one, that reveals my set like in its entirety, and 2, it's really bad for my set because it won't work as well. Next up, we have our Cinderace rocking out with the heavy duty boots, blazes its ability, Pyro Ball, Court Change, Gunk Shot, and U-Turn. 188 HP, 156 attack, and 164 speed with an adamant nature. Now, this Pokemon does very, very well this game. This is going to be our form of Hazard Control. My opponent has options for Prankster, Screens, and Klefki, as well as Spikes, which can be really, really annoying for our fat on our team. So I wanted to make sure that I had a way to not only get rid of those, but kind of use them to my advantage. So if my opponent wants to Spike Stack me, I'll take it, man. Yeah, you're gonna take them right back on your side, and I'm gonna get your screens, which I think is really, really cool. I think Court Change has a lot of utility in this matchup. Pyro Ball is actually incredibly free. The only switch-ins being something like Primarina, which Pyro Ball and the Gunk Shot will OHKO most Primarina with our spread. Oh, I didn't even say what our spread is for. Speed. We have enough speed for Virizion, Creep, and Crook. We hit the same stat as big Latias there. We OHKO max HP Primarina after Rocks with Gunk Shot, and like max defense variants, most of them will die with Rocks and a Pyro Ball and a Gunk Shot. Provided we hit, we 2-hit KO max defense into Zatchu, and then with the rest of the HP. But like I was saying, Pyro Ball is very, very free in the sense that if something like Prim wants to come in, we get to Gunk Shot at the turn after. If something like Lando wants to come in, we're getting, you know, great chip on that thing. We get good, you know, scouting on its moveset and stuff like that. And if something like Goodra wants to come in, which is another fire resist, that's actually amazing for us, because Pyro Ball plus U-Turn is going to slowly give us enough chip to where we can win with Shelly in the endgame. So this thing is actually good in forcing in the things that we want to break down for Celesteela to win the game, which I think is really, really important. It gives us good speed, and again, it really gives us that good hazard control to where we're not just straight defogging, but we're actually taking our opponent's hazards and screens and using them to our advantage potentially. And I think screens is something that could actually be potentially pretty scary, like a Calm Mind Prim as well. So or like a Double Dance Virizion or something like that. So I want to make sure I have something for that. In the back, being, you know, Cinderace. Next up, we have Big Crocodile. Rocking out with the leftovers, not the heavy duty boots. I think I forgot to change that on the slide. My bad, y'all. What do you call it? Yeah, rocking out with the leftovers. Intimidate as its ability, knock off Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Toxic. EVs wise, we got 148 HP, 188 attack, and 172 speed with a jolly nature. Now, EVs wise, we have enough speed for Mons, Creeping, Drifblim. We are not 2-hit KO'd after a spike by Landorus, Earthquake, if we Intimidate drop it. So, say there's a spike up on the field, we switch in on Landorus, because this is going to be my main pivot to Landorus, which we'll talk about. Once it gets to -1, with our lefties kept in mind, if there is one spike up on the field, we will not be 2-hit KO'd, and then we have the rest of the attack just to, you know, do some decent damage. Like I said, this is going to be our main Landorus pivot, mainly being that my 2 other potential Landorus pivots are actually very offensive this week, opposed to defensive, while Selly would be a great Landorus check otherwise. I wanted to have Crocodile to do it. One, because Selly is offensive, and two, because I think a gravity set is potentially really possible. And if it's gravity, I'm in a bad spot if I switch in hard on Selly and a gravity is thrown up. So I want something to potentially deal with that. Knockoff is very nice this game. Obviously, Virizion exists, but I have great checks to Virizion in my mind. Toxic is also incredibly nice. Nothing really wants to switch in on a Toxic for me because the two mons that can avoid it, being Klefki and Skuntank, are going to get blown ass backwards from an Earthquake, which is awesome. This Surge is a great rocker as well. Rocks are very, very nice in chipping down things like Landorus and Goodra and stuff like that. And Prim, obviously, so that our Celesteela can win in the end game. And this is just a great nuisance, especially with Wish support in the back. I think this can serve as a good Landorus check and pivot, provided that we play the game smart and are able to position ourselves well enough. So, a bit of an unorthodox Landorus pivot, I guess. But regardless, it's going to be ours this week. Fifth, we have our Lantern, rocking out with the Assault Vest Water Absorb as its ability, actually. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Scald, and Ice Beam. EVs wise, we got 4 HP, 164 defense, 60 special attack, 76 def, and 204 speed with a modest nature. Yes, we are running Water Absorb Lantern, mainly being because I'm terrified of Prim. These next two Pokemon are pretty much dedicated in being like the double entendre of stopping Primarina. And yeah, that's going to be Lantern's main job in this game. It really doesn't have much of a purpose outside of this, besides maybe checking something like Heat more. And pivoting in on Goodra, I suppose, and Klefki, I guess. But other than that, doesn't have much of a purpose. EVs-wise, we are creeping modest Primarina. We live a Leaf Storm after Rocks from Rotom Mow, which is awesome. We live a Leaf Blade after Rocks from Virizion, and then we threw the rest into Special Attack. It actually puts on a decent amount of offensive pressure with its dual stabs. It just doesn't have as much defensive utility as it did like in last week's game against Davion, where it had a ton of defensive utility when it came to checking that Rotom Wash. This week, it's more so serving as a pivot and just kind of slowing down things, getting in our offense, because we are bringing a much more offensive build this week opposed to weeks previous, and hopefully getting us in position. And again, it's a Mon that can Volt Switch pretty freely on this team, because one Scald or Ice Beam to that Landorus trying to switch in and catch us means it's pretty much toast. So that's something we'll definitely check. And then our secondary check to that Prim, and honestly the glue to this team that's really holding it together, is my boy Big Licky. We're rocking out with a very, very simple spread. Max HP, max def with 4 defense and a careful nature. Forgot to put the plus in front of the careful in front of the Spadef. Oops, we are messing up all over the place in these slides. I did like 1,000,000 slides in one night, so that's what you get, Owen, I guess. We are rocking out with leftovers. Oblivious is our ability, obviously, of allowing us to avoid getting taunted, as well as not be intimidated dropped by the Landers, which is really, really nice. We have Body Slam, Wish Protect, and Heal Bell. I almost want Swords Dance, because if you look at my opponent's team, if they don't bring Dusclops, I think Swords Dance Licky could just win on its own. But I think I need Heal Bell, Clerical Support. And being that Lantern kind of had to be AV to be a pivot into that Primarina, I felt like it was a little bit more important to have Heal Bell on Licky, because I feel like it Heal Bell more freely, and it honestly can still kind of beat everything minus like a Virizion 1v1 pretty damn easily, which is really, really, really funny. We're max just because Primarina is scary, and it gives us the best chance to live 2 Moonblast after Protect and stuff like that. I didn't really need much defense investment because we have other checks to other things. If Landorus wants to come and try and break us, we Wish, and we pass into Crocodile, or we pass into Latias, or we pass into Celesteela or something like that, if worst comes to worst, which is awesome. Heal Bell again makes it to where not only Licky is harder to take down with Toxics and Burns and things like that, but also makes it to where the rest of our team is tough to deal with, things like Crocodile and stuff like that. So I think Licky is a phenomenal glue this matchup, and it's honestly borderline unkillable for my opponent if they don't have some kind of way to boost their special attack, or if they don't bring Virizion. So unless they're like Calm Mind Prim, they don't really break through it. Unless they're Nasty Plot Rotom, they don't really break through it. And unless they're like Swords Dance Frizz, they don't really break through Licky. So I'm expecting Licky to put in overtime this game, because it just has such a phenomenal matchup, and it's such a great glue piece, and hopefully it can hold our team together to where we can put ourselves in a position where Celesteela can end up winning the game. But that's going to be the team. Let's jump right into the battle. Alright guys, here we are with the battle. We are connected with 3D Arcade. Let's see what he ended up bringing, if it's anything crazy. So it is a little bit different from what I expected. Klefki, Goodra, Skuntank, Lando, Prim, and Heatmore. Now, right off rip, What is my best lead? I think my best lead is for sure going to be Crook. Just because it leads best versus Lando on my team, in my opinion. At least before I know it's set and all that stuff. And it puts on decent offensive pressure as well. Nock is super free in this matchup. Getting off a Toxic on either that Lando or that Gudra or that, what do you call it? That Prim coming in is, you know, absolutely paramount. And, yeah, hopefully we can, you know, nab ourselves a W. But pretty sure Crook is going to be our best lead. I don't know if he's doing an intro, if he's just, you know, really contemplating his lead. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident about our team right now. So hopefully it goes well. And hopefully we can grab a W. That would be, you know, more than ideal. I'd love to keep up our streak of playing well here in BBR. So, good luck, have fun to my opponent. You have to go check him out in the description below. And, yeah, see what we can do. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I always get nervous before these games, man. I always get nervous. Wi-Fi just has a different feel to it. Jailer is going to be Lickilicky. So my question is, are you going to be Magnet Rise? I think regardless, I'm going to throw off a Nock this turn. I'd like to get rid of your item. For sure. So yeah, it is going to be, what do you call it? Screens. So I'm going to go Hard Cinder, and I'm going to court change these puppies. We're going to knock off its Light Clay, which is great. I'm going to go Cinder on what I hope to either be a Dazzling Gleam or a Light Screen. If it is going to be a T-Wave, that's fine. I do have Heal Bell support in the back, so I'm not super worried about that. And that means that it's just one attacking move, which is also, you know, interesting to know as well. Knocking off that thing's Light Clay is going to make these screens a little bit less annoying if we don't find the opportunity to get up our, to get off a court change. Is there going to be a light screen? They are going to withdraw. Out into Goombi. Okay. I think I am going to U-turn. Get a little bit of information. And go right out into my Licky. Kind of wish. Start passing around said wishes. You'll fit that way. And yeah. So we are going to U-turn. We know this thing's not Scarf. Very good information for us. And it's going to be gooey as well, which is good to know. Which means I think I have a pretty darn free Licky. We go right out into said Licky. And if this isn't leftovers, it's good to know. Most likely AV is what I expect in this matchup. I expected AV Stab Zipper. So Draco's going to pop. Is this thing going to be Specs? Okay, 217 down to 123. 217, 123. Let me go ahead and calc that. 217 minus 123. 94 points of damage. So it seems he's just max modest. It's not going to be Specs. I am just going to wish, though. And go from there. Interesting. Okay, I have Heal Bell, so it's not that big of a deal. It's annoying that I have to reveal it. Not the biggest deal in the world, though. Not the biggest deal in the world. So, all this means is that I get a Heal Bell off. Again, that's kind of a wasted PP, so that's a little bit annoying. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I would have liked to have just been able to throw off a Body Slam this turn, and have a pair on something, or just chip this thing down so that my Selly endgame is a little bit nicer. But again, I'm not going to complain super hard. So, we are going to get a pretty free Heal Bell off. Oblivious is going to, you know, bounce off of us because we are Oblivious. Because Oblivious doesn't block Intimidate. Blah, blah, blah. Words are fumbling a little bit, but it's all good. Words are fumbling a little bit, but it's all good. And I think I just pivot hard Crocodile. Right here. Yeah, I think Crook is definitely my best play. I can intimidate this thing. Drop it down low. If it does end up U-turning, A little bit unfortunate. Not the biggest deal in the world. And we'll go from there. So, I'm going to pivot out right into Crook. U-turn is a possibility just because they couldn't anticipate a Selly to come in. But I want to make this play just in case we see something else. U-turn is going to pop, so that's fine, honestly. It's a little annoying. I did a lot of damage, which looks to be make it, like a max attack landers, but not that big of a deal. Yeah, don't want to go Selly because that is for sure my win con. As out comes Big Goodra. Which is for sure interesting. I once again go right out into Licky. And put myself in a pretty good position. So I'm not super worried about this at this point. Surf is gonna pop. This thing is for sure Assault Vest. We've seen 3 coverage moves. It's probably max modest, but big deal. Is Reflect gonna wear off yet? It must have already worn off. No, it's over here. Okay, so there's one more there. What's a likely pivot? I'm gonna wish right here. So withdrawal's gonna come out. I could have body slammed a nab for a para, but I figured that this thing might want to come out, and that's a little annoying. So again, I would rather not. I don't want to see a Lando Russ. There. Into my Licky. Level 50. I suppose I can just pass it right out into Crook. And not really worry too much. I really want my rocks up at this point. A little bit too much switching for my taste. Knock off. That's fine. Like, it's unfortunate losing that, but I want, actually, I think I want to throw off a Toxic here. Yeah, I'm going to Toxic. Poisoning this thing is legitimately amazing for me. We're gonna do. And the way he's playing it makes me think he's for sure Scarf. Because we're gonna see Big Prim come out. Again, that's completely fine with me. Because that thing being on a timer is awesome. And, yeah, is able to slowly chip it down for that Selly endgame, which is 100% what we're going for at this point. So, from 204, let's see, Primarina. A Specs Prim. There's not 2 KOs with Moonblast from 204, I don't think. Let me just check. No, it doesn't. Moonblast doesn't. Hydro Pump or something of that sort will, but we have a Water Absorb Lantern, and I would be very surprised to see them go for the Water move, opposed to the Moonblast, which seems a little bit more free in this specific instance. And we'll also be able to see if it's Specs. So this will do a lot if it's Specs. I don't think it's Specs. Awesome. Okay, so that's great. And again, this thing is Toxic, and we're going to be in a pretty solid spot here. Special lefties, it is not. So I'm going to wish right on up. Hopefully put myself in a decent position. So, we're just going to pivot out. Pompadour. Which is going to be Big Skuntank. So, I'll take it. I'm going to pivot right back out into Crocodile. Crocodile's a phenomenal check to this thing. I don't really have to worry about anything it does. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. He's having a lot of trouble breaking through this Licky without Virizion on the team. So, again, that's great for me, the fact that he didn't end up bringing that. We're going to Intimidate. Toxic. Again, that's fine. Now I get up my rocks, which is, again, amazing. Legitimately amazing. And once I eventually get in a position to get my Latias in, I'm looking even better. So, let's go ahead and Stealth Rock. This is going to be paramount in me really dealing with this team. Big Goombi is going to come out. I don't know why the name's just making me laugh. And now part of me really just wants to go after this thing and throw off a fat knockoff. But is there a reason to do that? No, there's not. Let's see. Tundra, if you 2-hit KO me with 2 Dragos, you're max modest. 161. What? No, you don't. So, we can go hard out and do big Licky. In a good spot from there. Get Wish, Heal Bell, stuff like that. So, not too upset with this. Ice Beam. So it is just 4 coverage moves. It is for sure. Assault Vest, don't you freeze me. You're not frozen. And from here, we can throw up a Wish. Provided no crit, we will live 2 Draco Meteors from this range. Ice Beam's gonna come out again. He's just gonna try and freeze me, I guess. I wouldn't be a fan of, but not too big of a deal. Let's look at this calc. How much does this thing do to me? Max does 97 HP if it is max special attack modest with this Draco Meteor. We know it is not specs. I'm just gonna throw off a Body Slam. I got no reason not to. And yeah, so Surf's gonna come out. Maybe expecting a double into Crook. Something of the sorts, but we're gonna be able to get off a big Body Slam. Dewey's gonna pop. That is fine with me. Again, this looks to be unrecoverable chip on my opponent's end, so I'll take it. And this turn I will Heal Bell. Just feel like it's pretty important to do so. We're gonna get offset Heal Bell. Ice Beam's gonna pop. They're really playing with fate right here. So. We'll see. Apologies if you could hear outside my room. I think my little brother's getting upset that he lost in Smash, something of the sorts. I know, he is not happy though. We're gonna Wish right here. Yeah, we're gonna Wish. What does my opponent really have to break through Selly as well? Not much. They're really hoping for this freeze too, man. Really hoping for this freeze. I'm gonna Wish right here. And then I'll get a free Body Slam off. So Big Licky showing why he is an absolute monster, refusing to go down. I guess eventually they can get that freeze. I guess they've thrown off a lot of Ice Beams. I wouldn't be happy with it, but it is what it is. So there's the para. Love to get another one. I am going to throw off said Wish. Just because I want to have a Wish in the air when I knock this thing out. Or I want to receive that Wish when I knock this thing out. So that's what we're going to do. Is throw off said Wish. Ice Beam's going to come out. Really baiting for that freeze, man. I'm holding my breath each and every time that they click it. Each and every time that they click it. So, very cool. Hopefully we avoid it one more time. Hopefully we avoid it one more time. I mean, I guess it's their play to go for it. Fuck me, dude. I knew it was gonna happen. Fuck me. Oh my god, let's go. Ooh, baby. That's really funny, actually. That's legitimately hilarious. Oh, Lord. Good stuff. Woo! So that's great, actually. Legitimately hilarious. Hot tea is gonna come out, which is going to be eat more. Gonna take the rocks. So what do I want to make the play out into? I think my best pivot is for sure gonna be my Latias. Yeah, because I know that a Fire Lash into a Sucker Punch won't knock me out. Like, I know that for a fact. Overheat. Okay. My opponent just did not... Jesus, that's Specs, dude? What in the world? I'm gonna Mystical Fire on a Klefki pivot. I think the Klefki pivot is way more free than the Skuntank pivot. Okay, it's gonna be... Oh, dude, I wish I dropped a Draco now. I wish I dropped that Draco. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We are gonna click Mystical Fire. Do a lot of damage. But I think this thing might be scarred, to be completely honest. So I'm gonna switch out. There is no reason for me to, not. So I'm gonna go hard out into my Crocodile. In case of a knockoff. U-turn can obviously pop as well. But no reason for me to risk that. U-turn, it's fine. This thing is just taking chip on chip on chip. It's gonna do a lot of damage, which is unfortunate, but not the biggest deal in the world. So we'll see what we can do. See what we can do. And that thing does give me my setup opportunity with Celesteela. Just need to get rid of that Klefki, man. And this might be my opportunity to get that chip. I'm gonna click Earthquake. Yeah. I don't think I lose anything clicking Earthquake unless they're Magnet Rise. Yeah. I mean, Reflect can pop. So Earthquake's gonna come out. It's not gonna be enough to knock it out. But I mean, do we really lose anything in Earthquaking again? Defog. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Yeah. So there's screens, defog, likely attacking move, which is honestly amazing. And the fact that they did not set up a light screen yet, and if they don't set up a light screen, I am in a phenomenal spot. Phenomenal spot to win with Selly. Just need to find that setup opportunity. And I can likely just win. So the rocks being up for me is phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. So they're gonna switch. Tis whatever. They're gonna take that chip from rocks, which is unrecoverable Demahe. We're gonna take a little bit of chip, and I think honestly Licky can also just win like on its own. I think my play here is just to knock. If they U-turn, they U-turn. If they Earthquake, I get my opportunity with Selly. So yeah, they're gonna U-turn. But this gives me a Rocks chip on something, and I get Switch Initiative. So like, they can take my Crook. That's fine. Crook did its job, and from here I can put myself in a pretty good position. They go Heatmore. They're 50%. They go Skuntank. You go Switch Initiative. They go Primarina. So, let me check something. Celesteela to a Primarina. Max HP. Level 50. A +1 Meteor Beam does not knock it out. I feel like I can just go hard into my big bathwater right here. And just off a Scald. Because worst comes to worst, they stay in and they call me not going for the electric move. I'm fine. I put this thing in range of a +1 Celesteela. Are they gonna go hard Landorus? Pompadour. is going to be that Scun tank. So I'll take this damage. I'd love a burn, actually. I'd freaking love a burn. Give me it. Give me the burn. Give me the burn. Reflect's gonna wear off. I think I'm gonna get the slow volt. Nothing this team can do can knock me out. Or the fast volt. It's fine as well. I think I just go Licky. I think I just go Licky. I could try and pass a wish off. At this point, yeah. Jesus. Life orb. Jesus. This is so much damage. I'm gonna wish. I'm gonna wish, I'm gonna wish, I'm gonna wish. And, we'll see what we can do. We're gonna go for a poison. It's fine. Yeah, we're gonna wish. And I just protect this turn. I just try and wish all this thing out of its life orb turns. Big Licky might even get the thumbnail himself, just walling the squad on his own, not giving two at the opponent and what they want to click. That's for sure a Scarf Lando as well. So Licky can honestly beat that 1v1 even, because it's so low at this point and it can't intimidate me. So I'm not too upset right now. I'm in a phenomenal spot, to be completely honest. So, I mean, once again, I just wished all this thing because I also don't want to take the Aftermath. There's no reason for me to take the Aftermath. I just stay as healthy as humanly possible. They poison me, so be it. They can get the defense drop. That's fine. Because I just protect this next turn. Or I get the wish up. So Licky is going to take out that Scun tank. Pop the wish up for himself. There we go, there we go. I know that Prim isn't specs, so I can honestly just body slam that thing as well. I'm pretty sure that Heatmore is specs, because I did a ridiculous amount to us before. Like, I'm pretty sure that this thing is specs. Am I running out of wishes? Nah, no. I'm just gonna protect, though. Again, like, why not? Pretty sure this mon just wins on its own. Pig Licky. Just not caring. My boy. We're gonna see an overheat pop. That's fine. We're gonna wish. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna see an overheat pop as we throw up the wish. Good lord! That is for sure specs. I want to see Licky to a heat more. Special attacker. +1. Overheat. Yeah, he's for sure specs. So he's basically -1. I mean, my safest play is to protect. As annoying as it is, I think my safest play is just to protect. In case he gets a crit. I need to make sure I'm out of range of that. So. And then I throw a wish up in the air this turn, and I just body slam. Honestly, Licky might just do it on its own. Licky might just do it on its own. We're going to see an overheat pop. Yeah, and I don't even think a crit will knock us out. So, we just body slam again. Licky just... he's just sitting, bro. Licky's just sitting, bro. He does not care. I forget they were going to Lando because we have the defense drop, so we need to keep that in mind that we have the defense drop and not forget. But, my boy, he's just sitting. He's just sitting. I don't think overheat can burn, actually. Like, I don't think it can. That would be very unfortunate if it did. Licky just showing why you need to bring some sort of breaker for my boy. It got paralyzed. Does that mean we're faster? It does. So I'm just gonna body slam. Then range of rocks. We outspeed. Bop. Down he goes. And again, we're chilling. I'm pretty sure we should be okay. Licky might just win on its own right now. So unfortunately, we might not be able to show off the Celesteela tech. Jailer's gonna come out. This thing doesn't die to rocks, but... Oh, it does die to rock. Let's go! That means we don't have to deal with screens. Nothing like that. So down goes Klefki. Able to keep up those rocks, which is obviously phenomenal. Tiger King's gonna come out. This thing cannot intimidate drop us. Honestly, I kind of want... I'm gonna go Selly. Yeah, I want Selly. We're gonna do it. I want to get the meteor beam off. I'm sorry. I really want to get the meteor beam off. We're -1 too, so like, why not keep all of our outs for that Primarina in the back just in case? Defog. Double defog. Pretty sure that's Scarf defog as well. So let's go ahead and autotomize. I'm pretty sure that's Scarf defog. But we're gonna autotomize up, get the Silly to get the last 2, hopefully. Yeah, he's scarfed. So I autotomized twice. I autotomized twice. Just because he's scarfed. In case he flinches me and like I miss a move on the prim, I want to get my best diff possible. So we're gonna auto again. Because I know he's scarfed. And then we'll, what do you call it? Get it on that Prem. So Prem's gonna come out. It's not gonna take rocks, but we should be fine. I mean, maybe I should have heart attacked this thing in case it's like AV or something, but it's fine. It won't Oko me. It's gonna take a little bit of that poison, that chip, and we're gonna Meteor Beam, which is really cool. Which is like really, really cool. So hopefully this ends up working out. I just wanted to get this pop. Licky's for sure getting the thumbnail, though. I can't take it away from my dude. He just sat in front of the entire squad, which is honestly really, really cool. So, we're going to use Meteor Beam. Oh, look at that animation! My boy, Selly. Or, my girl, Selly, because I needed Kaguya. My girl, Selly. Hopefully getting up to 8 kills in the season. If we can. Meteor Beam. Is it going to hit? Oh, we're going to hit. Let's go! Oh, that's such a sick animation. Oh, good lord, that is AV as full. Ice Beam. Don't freeze me. Don't freeze me. Let's go. Awesome. Then we're just gonna Air Slash. Hit. There we go. Selly is going to hit that Air Slash. We're gonna be at the +2 special attack, and we can just flamethrower the Landorus for the least drawback possible. And hopefully win the game. So, really, really good stuff. Team worked out to perfection this week. Again, I really like our squad, and I think the top heaviness of the league, or not the top heaviness, the restriction and points really helped out our really super fat build, and being able to just like really just kind of sit in front of teams like, you know, this week and even last week. We didn't even have to bring Fat Sally this week to do it. So, we are going to be able to get the 5-0 win on the backs of Lickilicky and Crocodile. Most of the game, honestly, just being out there the whole time, which is really, really, really cool. Celesteela able to come in and get the last 2. GG's to my opponent. Definitely go check him in the description below. I think I had a really beneficial matchup. I don't think this score is like an indicator of, you know, how they are as a player or anything like that. I think we just had a very, very good matchup, and it's something we'll take. We're going to be able to move on to 3-0 plus 16 on the season. So, very dominant start for us. I'm hoping we can keep it going. Again, it's a long season. BBR is 12 whole goddamn weeks. So we got to keep it going. Make sure that we're, you know, not getting lax or anything like that. Just, you know, keep on trucking through. And hopefully we can continue to do well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to drop a sub if you enjoy Draft League content, Wi-Fi battles, showdown lives, all that stuff. We got plenty of it. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys in the next one.